What's up guys, Legolas here with Player 2 Gaming. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button below, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so there are a ton of videos out there with tips and tricks on Call of Duty's new Battle Royale mode, Warzone. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to walk you guys through my squad's strategy that we use every single game. If you stick to these tips and tricks religiously and are relatively good at FPS, they should help you boost that win percentage. Tip number 1, controller changes. This tip will guarantee change the pace at which you play Warzone, and it's done by changing a couple key features in the options menu. There are a lot of specific changes you can make in your options menu if you're looking at harnessing that inner sweaty, but these two are by far the most important. First is under options, controller, weapons, use/reload behavior. Change this to contextual tap. This will change the way your X or square button work. Rather than holding down this button for an unspeakable amount of time, you will now only have to tap your button to reload, pick up items, open doors, and get in and out of vehicles, saving you valuable time. It's important to remember though, if you're in a vehicle and you want to reload, you have to hold X or square, or you're going to end up jumping out of your ride. The second change is under movement, slide behavior. You're going to want to change this to tap. So instead of having to hold your slide button now, you only have to tap it, allowing you to slide around during a fight much easier, making you more difficult to hit. Tip number 2, contracts. These are so extremely important, and most players completely overlook them or see them as more of an optional distraction. But this couldn't be further from the truth. In Warzone, money is everything. If you don't have the cash to buy supplies and bring back fallen squad mates, your chances of success are slim to none. Completing contracts are a great way to earn that much needed payday. But contracts also have added value on top of just a payday. My squad strategy when jumping from the plane is to choose an area that has multiple scavenger and recon contracts in a small area. First we land on a scavenger contract, as these almost always have decent guns in them, and even the possibility of a legendary weapon. Once we have finished 1 or 2 scavenger contracts, we quickly do as many recon contracts as possible. These not only drop awesome loot and cash when completed, but they show you where the next circle is. Do enough of these early on and you will have ample time to make your way to the final circle and hunker down to prepare for the final moments of the match. Do keep in mind though, when capturing the recon location, a flare is sent into the air above you, revealing your location to all enemy teams in the area. So it's best to be aware of any teams around you when capturing the recon, as well as working together as a team to protect anyone capturing the recon. As far as the tracker contract, grab these when you're not currently doing any contracts, just to give you and your squad a heads up location of another enemy team. Another great perk of picking these contracts up, if another team eliminates your contract for you, you still reap the financial benefits. Tip 3, loadout versatility. Build yourself a loadout that gives you a fighting chance no matter what distance your enemies are. I personally like to use the overkill perk, which allows me to equip 2 primary weapons in my custom class, so that I can have a close range and long range weapon equipped. I generally use an SMG or AR with attachments that complement high rate of fire, movement speed, recoil control, and a super quick ADS, so that I can be extremely agile around tight corners. For my second weapon, I like to choose a sniper rifle, marksman rifle, or AR, customized with a decent scope, recoil control, bullet velocity, aiming stability, and damage range. With all of this said, you may choose to waive the overkill perk and take with you a Joker, an RPG, or pick up a second gun along the way, and take advantage of some of the other useful second perks. When it comes down to it, it's all personal preference. As long as you are prepared for a long range and close range fight, you should be good to go. Tip 4, tactical sprint. Your tactical sprint is activated by pressing your sprint button twice in quick succession, sprinting faster than normal for a short distance. This might be something that you are already aware of, however a useful tip to note is that in order to reset your sprint, you need to stop moving. This isn't very useful when you're trying to escape danger or cross a large opening. To get around this, simply slide while running and your tactical sprint will instantly reset, enabling you to sprint, slide, and so forth as long as you need to. Tip 5, vehicles. The various vehicles scattered around the map can be useful for getting cheap, easy kills, as well they can be useful to getting you and your team from point A to point B quickly. But simply put, these things are death traps. It is far too easy to destroy a vehicle with a well-placed RPG, targeted projectile, or lethal equipment. sending you and your squad to the Ghoul Egg in a split second. Not to mention, getting into a vehicle gives your location away on the map to every single enemy team in your surrounding area. As tempting as they can be to get into, avoid vehicles at all costs. Tip 6. Trophy systems. Following our previous tip, if you absolutely must get into a vehicle, whether to escape a situation or to stay ahead of the blue zone, be sure one of your squad mates has a trophy system. Trophy systems are a fairly common drop and can be found on the ground along with other loot or in loot crates, and is a single-use deployable equipment that when deployed automatically destroys enemy projectiles, tacticals, and lethals. They last for 45 seconds and can be activated a total of 3 times. Recently discovered, these trophy systems will stay on your vehicle when placed there, giving your squad and your ride vulnerability from projectiles, tactical, and lethals for 45 seconds. Note that you will still be vulnerable to cluster strikes and precision airstrikes. Tip 7. C4. Since we are on the topic of vehicles and how unreliably dangerous they are to use, we might as well talk about the easiest way to destroy them and potentially wipe out an entire team along with it. C4 is a trigger-activated lethal, which can be found or equipped to your custom loadout. C4 is by far the most valuable lethal you can have in your arsenal and a vehicle's worst enemy. Targeted projectiles work awesome, but they do alert enemies in the vehicles, and bullets don't do that much damage. But C4 is a sure and easy way of cleaning up any passing by vehicles. It's good to note though that one C4 will destroy any vehicle except for the cargo truck. Those things are super beefy. Tip 8. Heartbeat sensors. This is a pivotal tactical for every squad. The heartbeat sensor has an unlimited use and is basically a permanent personal UAV that will tell you the enemy's location up to 40 meters away, 180 degrees in front of you. I recommend that at least 1 or 2 of your squad members have these things equipped. Keep in mind, however, if the enemy has the ghost perk equipped, they will not appear on your heartbeat sensor. However, the chances that every member of the enemy team has ghost equipped and have all had access to their loadouts to get these perks is unlikely. This does mean, however, if you only see 1 or 2 enemies on your heartbeat sensor, there still might be more around. Tip 9. Place all lethal equipment. Let's say you're rocking the highly recommended C4 and your lethal slot is full, and you come across an undeployed claymore while looting. Swap that bad boy out and find a quick and easy subtle location to place it on the ground. A good place is on top or beside of a buy station. Then retrieve your primary lethal once again. You would be surprised how often someone will walk into your random trap, damaging, downing, or killing your opponent, or at the very least letting you know their exact location for a brief and possibly valuable moment. This strategy works with claymores and proximity mines. Tip 10. Gas mask. The gas mask is a legendary item that you can find in loot crates or purchased from a buy station for $3,000. And if you want my opinion, that is a complete waste of money. When equipped, this item grants you an extra few seconds of survival inside of the gas. The downside to this item is that when entering or exiting the gas, your operator will engage in an animation that occludes your field of view as he puts his hand in front of his face, blocking your vision and preventing you from firing your gun. While the few extra seconds of gas vulnerability can be useful, especially in the final circles, the combat interruption triggered by the animation of putting on and off the mask might just be the thing that gets you killed. Keep all of this in mind when choosing to pick up the gas mask or not. Tip 11. The Ghoul Egg. If you're unfortunate enough to be killed and sent to the Ghoul Egg, here's a couple small things you can do to increase your chance of winning. First, spend your time spray painting your opponents while waiting for your turn. This will illuminate them and make them easier to see in the dark prison showers below. Second, keep moving. Players that stand still in the Ghoul Egg are easy targets for their opponents. And lastly, take note of where rocks are being thrown from above. They can often give the position of your enemy away. As well, if you are in the Ghoul Egg with your teammates, make sure you're helping each other out by calling out enemy positions. Tip 12. Following a Ghoul Egg win. If you're in a pinch coming back from a Ghoul Egg win and you need a quick weapon, spotting and landing at a friendly loadout drop might be a viable option. Just make sure the coast is clear before doing so. Neutral drops often mean unfriendly traffic. If you do manage to successfully and safely access your loadouts, ammo is still an issue, as your loadout will only equip you with 1 clip in each gun. To get some extra ammo, choose a class with an SMG. Some machine guns share ammo with pistols, so you will automatically have twice as much SMG ammo since you already start with ammo for your handgun. Tip 13. Double tap. In other Battle Royale games, such as PUBG for example, once an enemy is downed, they are no longer an immediate threat, and your focus should turn towards other active enemies. Warzone is a little different, thanks to the self-revive feature that can be purchased from buy stations. Finish off your downed enemies as soon as possible. You never know which one will have a self-revive. Tip 14. Team revive time. A useful trick to cut the time needed for your teammate to be picked up is to use your self-revive, given you have one, on and off, keeping the bar almost full but not completed. Then when a teammate arrives to revive you, it will only take them the remainder of the bar to complete the revive, bringing you back to your feet almost instantly. Tip 14. Loadout and drops. Equipping your personal loadout is essential, as it's the only way to acquire your perks. The only problem is purchasing a loadout drop from the buy station costs you a whopping 10 grand. Unless you're swimming in cash, it's a waste of money. More often than not, a random, friendly loadout is dropped 100 meters away immediately after your squad deploys or purchased one. If you can, avoid purchasing one and find one instead. Again, just keep in mind that everyone else sees these drop locations on their maps as well. Tip 16. Take care of your squad. Look at your squad as a lifeline. 4 is always better than 1. Take care of each other. Always make buying your teammates back from death a first priority. Try to always keep a reserve fund of $4,500 for a quick buyback. Share ammo, money, and armor plates. Make sure everyone has everything they need for the best chance of success in a fight. Split your spoils and always be aware of how everyone in your squad is on ammo, items, and kill streaks. Hoarding 5 reserve armor plates when your teammate has none doesn't help your squad win. As well, don't all rush in at once, but cover each other when using buy stations, loadout crates, and capturing recon points. Think of your squad as a single unit rather than yourself as a single operator. Tip 17. Parachute. Don't open your parachute if you don't have to. If your squad is holding up on top of a building, plan your exit strategy and know whether or not you need to open your parachute when jumping ship. You can survive a total of 13 meters without taking damage. If you want to know exactly how high your jump is going to be, place a waypoint on the ground from where you're going to jump from and it will tell you the distance. Tip 18. Don't move, or move with a purpose. The less you move, the less you're seen, the less you're going to be someone's target. If you have to move, know why you're moving, where you're moving, and if your destination has enemy squads near it. If your goal is to see enemies and to not be seen by enemies, you should run into minimal surprises, allowing your squad to make the first move on a team as a team. This will give you the upper hand on any combat altercation. Tip 19. Choosing your squad. To give yourself the best chance at that victory royale, choose a squad and consistently play with them. Become familiar with each other's playstyles and stick to a consistent game plan. Using these squad tips and tricks, your team should be able to come out on top. That wraps up the list. If you enjoyed the video, I would love a thumbs up, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I truly would appreciate it a lot. As well, if you guys have any other awesome squad tips, I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. With that, I wish you and your squad the best of luck in the Warzone. Check out my live stream on Twitch and follow us on Instagram. Links are in the description below. And remember, we aren't gamers because we have no lives. We are gamers because we choose to have many. Cheers.